effectiveness of how we approach this game. And we had a few moments yesterday where I wasn't as sure, but they got themselves focused in a big way. I thought our coaches did a fantastic job this week of game planning for Pittsburgh, and at the same time turning around and getting us ready to play this game. And we just want our players to continue to understand that they have to be in control of what they can control, and they can't control everything that goes on in a game, but they can control their intensity, they can control their talk, they can control what we're trying to do with the game plan, they can control how hard they run, those type of things. And so that's the kind of improvement we want to continue to make. And if you make that improvement, then all of a sudden your execution's better and you get more stops. I thought the fact that there were, I think Jade said that they got 2 baskets in the last 23 possessions of the first half. So we closed out the first half with a lead, which was important. And I thought we came back out right away in the second half. And they made a few more baskets, but the bottom line is we played hard, we made adjustments, and a lot of people contributed. So I was excited about that. There were, anytime you're going to play that way, you're going to have a lot of really good individual performances inside of the game, but the biggest thing to me was the connectedness on the defensive end and the ball movement that continued on the offensive end. So, go ahead.
First question. Zach?
You talked a little bit about this, but how much of it was defense queuing? I think it was a 23-5 run you guys finished on in the first half.
Oh, it was huge. I thought it was a carryover from the other night. I mean, they have to realize the bottom line, especially as you get ready to go on the road, that you're never going to be able to control every aspect of the game. But you can control that effort defensively, that the intensity of it, like I said, and then really we're not trying to give them every possible thing to think about right now when they're on defense. But there are certain things that have got to be constants outside of the basic fundamentals. And we wanted to make those improvements. Tonight I thought our weak side got better. We've seen 2 teams this week that do a really good job of wanting middle drive, whether it was Pittsburgh or Savannah State, and really so much of what they do is predicated by how much they get the ball to the middle, especially for both teams, on the left side looking in to drive right, but they can go both ways with it. So we wanted to do a good job with that. There were certain things in the post that we wanted to be able to take away, and they're learning the different segments that go into how everybody's got to be connected, no matter if it's a side pick and roll and we're in one coverage that 2 or 3 guys are really involved with. Well, no, all 5 are involved. Or if it's changing defenses, or it's how the post is being played, all those different things that they understand everybody has to be at their best. And if you're going to beat good teams, you can't have one guy doing this or one guy relaxed over here or one guy not seeing the cutter. So we're learning that, and I thought this week we took some real steps with that, and then I think our running game continued to get better this week. I thought we did a good job of turning the defensive stops into really good runouts, but at the same time, when they scored baskets, we got it out quick, we got it up and advanced. I thought we dealt with their pressure pretty well tonight, and which obviously we're going to see as good a pressure basketball team as I haven't seen everybody play, and not even close, but and I haven't seen a lot of Louisville, but I've seen enough to know from last year and the years past, and certainly even a little bit this year, that their pressure defense is as good as anybody's in the country. So the more we can attack, the more we can move the ball, the more that we can get stops defensively and get out and do those same things, the better we'll be.
Mike?
With Stan adjusting to a bit of a new role, how important was it for him to sort of have something positive?
Oh, very important. Very, very important. He's worked very hard, and it's not easy for him, and try to remind him that even the second game back, he was one of the guys at the end of the game finishing the game for us in the last 5 minutes of the game. But Stan works extremely hard. Since he's been back, I mean, he doesn't go home after the walkthrough. He eats, he sits around for a little bit, then he goes back out in the gym and shoots. I see it countless. I mean, I worry, okay, are you working too hard? I mean, he wants it so bad. So to me, we're trying to remind him as his shooting improves, just do what his strengths entail, and just go as hard as you can go, change speed and direction, attack the rim, make simple plays, and be just a defensive hawk. And I thought tonight was a big step for him in playing that way and playing very efficient. And statistics showed it, but most importantly, the spirit and the mentality that he played with showed it.
Terry?
Coach, when you get 15 points off the bench from Emmett and Colin combined, you got to be pretty happy with that. 15 points and 10 boards.
Yeah, I hadn't even really looked at that close. And I was actually happy that Jeremiah went in with some of the main guys and did okay too. So we've got to keep developing that. We're not, we've got so many guys that you really couldn't define them with a position. They just need to be basketball players and play the game, and it doesn't matter who they're guarding or what their position is, they just play as hard as they can play. And Colin and Emmett are getting so much done because of the hustle game. You know, and Emmett's still got a lot to learn, and he gave up a couple buckets on the out-of-bounds play because he misplayed the action. And Colin, I've said before, we're continuing to really monitor his minutes in practice. He doesn't like it, but it's what's best for him. It's what's best for the long run, you know, to continue to have him be as strong as he can be throughout the season. But they come onto the games and they really are playing like they belong, and they're making a difference, and they're impacting our team in a very strong way.
Go ahead.
Coach, can you talk about the way your team's coming together right
Anybody ever tell you look like Johnny Marlin?
now?
Johnny Marlin played for us. He's now the leading scorer at Indiana Wesleyan. You look dead on him, a little. So great. Yeah, that's a compliment. He's a good kid. So, anybody say what? You distracted me. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to ask you how your team's coming together right now, how vital that is before you guys play Louisville.
Well, it's got to be constant. I mean, that's the bottom line. We put a week together, and we put a good week together, back-to-back games. And this is probably the first time all year where we've had back-to-back games where the defensive intensity was really the key to the game. And I think that makes everything happen from there. It makes your rebounding better. It makes your attack game better. It makes your fast break better. And when you're playing that hard and they score, you don't like it, but they got to learn, like, we got to get the ball right up the court. And so that's your team's. If your team's unselfish on offense, you're going to be good. If your team is connected on defense, you got a chance to be really good. And that's what we've got to continue to build. We've got a long way to go to get that every possession, but we made strides this week. But it'll get severely tested on Tuesday.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
As far as what?
As far as Tuesday's matchup?
Well, they're outstanding. There's no question about it. I'm not as prepared to talk about the personnel and things of that nature as I will be over the next few days. But the bottom line is Rick is one of the best that's ever done it. There's no way around that. If he hadn't gone to the NBA with the Knicks and with the Celtics, he could be sitting right there with Mike Krzyzewski, sitting there getting ready to get his 1,000th win. I mean, he's that good a coach. We've had battles with him in the past, back when we were at Marquette, and learned a lot from watching his teams, the way he coaches the game. They have as good of a pressure defensive team as I have seen to this point. We're going to have to really deal with that. Our zone offense is going to have to be outstanding because they're going to do different things defensively, but you really got to be able to run your zone offense and run it crisply and sharp and get movement. So we're going to have to be really good there. And they don't let up. The bottom line is they never go away and they don't let up. And their guards are extremely physical in the sense of how well they get up into the ball. And the one thing the one common theme, preparing for this season was how good SMU created defensive pressure and got steals, how good Pittsburgh got steals, how good Louisville was at getting steals and back tips. Louisville's at the head of the class on that right now. So we're going to have to really, really be great with the basketball and get through the press.
Andy?
How do you see your rotation and bench players developing? You pulled all 5 starters and put 5 bench guys in a close game.
Well, once I pulled them, I subbed.
You said subbed, yeah.
I didn't pull anybody tonight for any other reason other than substitution. So when you pull is when you're getting a guy out of the game for a reason.
It's subbed pull.
It's just the way it worked out. We're starting to get a little bit more where we want to get the guards out at a certain time, especially the 3 starting guards. Get them out at certain points in time. It didn't work out that way. Tonight I didn't get, Yogi was playing so hard in the first half that I didn't get him his second blow there that I would have liked, and he never wants to come out, but that's why I got him out a little bit earlier in the second half. So when I put them all in at that point, I'm not a big fan of putting 3 or 4 in at a time. I don't think over a period of time that really helps you, but tonight it didn't hurt us, and I don't know if we have a true rotation yet. I mean, it's based on a lot of different things, but I know we've got guys that want to be in the rotation and belong in the rotation, and that just becomes a situation to how well they play once they're inside of it.
Alex?
I'm good.
Okay. Sam, last question?
James mentioned during practice after Pitt being out-rebounded that you guys might have gotten into them about getting the rebounding a little bit more improved. You guys out-rebounded them.
Well, yeah, we get into them about improving our rebounding every day.
You guys out-rebounded them 42-24. What were you maybe stressing differently in practice?
Well, I think I think it's just more technique. I think it's you know, James is what did he have tonight?
18.
No, rebound wise, 3. So he's probably still right there as one of the leaders of the team in rebounding. I think the blockout principles, you know, of making contact and pivoting. We missed some rebounds over the last few weeks, and even tonight where we go up with one hand. I think we're trying to become much better at two-hand rebounding. We're not just going to go up and get a bunch of one-hand boards and get things done. And we have to be a two-hand positional rebounding team, blockout team, hit and pursue. So it's really just making sure that we're constantly never getting away from it every possession, but at the same time them knowing that we're not going to win games giving up 25 offensive rebounds. You can't bank on a team only getting 14 points out of those 25 boards. All right, and we've got to be. We were in the fight, but now we've got to do a better job of being in position to grab the ball first, and rather than just being in the fight and get more 50-50 balls.
Okay. Anything else?
All right, thank you.
Thanks.